Hi everyone, and welcome to Chemistry 120, Concepts of Chemistry. Today I'd like to talk to you about experiment number 10, thermochemistry, heats of reaction. So let's start off by discussing what is thermochemistry. Thermochemistry is the study of how heat changes in reactions dealing with Q values and heat constants. The purpose for this specific experiment was to compare, and it was to react sodium hydroxide and hydrochloric acid to find out the specific heat and the specific heat of reaction for this reaction. To start off this experiment, we use what is known as the coffee cup calorimeter. And what that is two styrofoam cups stacked on top of each other with what we used at first was 20 milliliters of sodium hydroxide at 1.00 molarity. And then we inserted a thermometer that did not touch either the bottom or the sides of the cup, just so that it wouldn't break when a magnetic stirring tablet was inserted at the bottom. After the 20 milliliters of hydrochloric acid was inserted, we measured that temperature and recorded it in a table, and then also added 1.00 molarity of hydrochloric acid with 20 milliliters to react it with the NaOH, and we measured that temperature. We repeated this process 3 times so that the average temperature change could be gathered. Then what we did was scratch the experiment and create a new one using 40 milliliters of 1 molarity NaOH and HCl. We repeated the same way, recorded the temperature, and then after that we cleared the coffee cup calorimeter, and then we added 2.00 molarity NaOH at 20 milliliters and 20 milliliters of 2.00 molarity HCl, so just so we would have different forms of data. We recorded all of this in this table here, where we can note all the different trials. The next part of the experiment, after we actually did the physical stuff, was to do the calculations to find the Q values using the heat constants and change of temperature. The formula we used for this was Q equals mass of the liquids times the known heat constant 4.14, and that would give us the Q. Here is an example for my own experiments. And in conclusion, we found that the volume of the NaOH and the HCl did not necessarily affect the heat of the reaction. It was the concentrations of the compounds HCl and NaOH that would affect the heat of the reaction the most. Any questions?